So in this video I just want to show you the three scenarios for touch on an Ultrabook, three usage scenarios. One good, one not so good, and one productive. Three scenarios. This video accompanies an article on ultrabooknews.com. And just for a bit of background, I've been using touchscreen devices since 2007, and not only tablet PCs, I actually had a touchscreen laptop for a year as well. So I've had quite a bit of experience on touchscreen in the laptop form factor, and that was back with Windows XP and resistive touchscreens. Anyway, let's get on with the three scenarios I want to show you. Obviously, the question comes up, if you are using a keyboard and a mouse, why would you then move to a touchscreen scenario when you've got full control down here? Well, it's a good question, but there are some advantages, and in consumption mode you might actually find that the touchscreen might be easier. This is scenario one, which I think the Metro user interface for Windows 8 has been designed around, and as you can see, basically you get the ability to use the hands in a very relaxed way on the right hand side, and to have access to most things without really moving your hands away from the side. What you've also got are applications which are dedicated touch applications. So clearly these are not applications that are going to be very comfortable in terms of hand usage, but they bring advantages in terms of, the application that can be used, the productivity, the speed, and of course a paint application is one of them. You can't get away from the fact that actually in a laptop some of these applications are quite more usable than a tablet, because you get two hands free rather than one in many cases. Let's go back then to an application where you think you're in a comfortable mode, but then you have to move your hands. Metro Retreat is one of those. There's a four-column application here, left hand side, right hand side, but then you've got this middle row here which you have to move your hand to. And then you're at the situation where you were consuming in a very comfortable way, but then you get these middle sections here that require you to move. Now, designers will have to think about that when they design their apps. It's possible that a horizontally scrolling system might be easier because you'd access it from both sides. So that's an app that is both in a comfortable usage scenario, but also has some elements which aren't so comfortable, and these are the applications that might struggle to get really big adoption on touchscreen laptops. But there's another segment of applications and scenarios that, although may not be 100% comfortable or easy, actually bring returns in terms of productivity. These are the apps and the scenarios that you've got to teach yourself, find out about. And as someone has used this for a number of years, I want to show you a couple of demos here. So let's take Cyberlink Power Director, which is my video editor of choice for Ultrabooks. It's well optimized for the Intel QuickSync video hardware that's inside these. And I'll start up the Windows Live gallery as well. And let's just show you how we can just sort of drag stuff around and bring it into the applications, and then very easily I'm putting stuff on the timeline. I can expand the timeline here, magnify the timeline. That's not a fantastically smooth magnifying experience, it could be a lot better, but then of course you can move stuff around and match it up fairly easier. One thing you don't get with touchscreens is hover, and there are many applications and many web sites that use hover to reveal features without you pressing the mouse button. For example, here, if I hover over the end, I can then press the mouse button and expand the section. It's actually very difficult to do that in one go with a finger. For a start, you can't see where you're putting the finger, and then you only have one chance to hit the end. I got it right there, but in most cases it's not going to happen. So remember, hover doesn't work with touchscreens at the moment. There are touchscreens which do detect hover with special pens, but at the moment there are no touchscreens which actually detect hover by finger. That's something that maybe in the next years we can solve, and that will bring another element of the normal desktop into finger touch environments. So then just a quick recap there, and as you can see, I'm pretty used to using Windows with touch, and Windows 7 has some nice features which do help that as well. And as you can see, as I've been using it for many years, I'm pretty accurate with it. But that's the 3 scenarios. Let's just go over those again. You've got the very easy, lazy, consumption type scenario where you can do some pretty good stuff without moving your hands. Let's go back to another application here. Then you've got the dedicated touch apps, which obviously need your hands moving around all over the place. And then you've got the applications, and there was one of them actually doing the split screen. The applications which do have some element of lazy, easy touch use, but also have elements that need you to move your hand away. Now these scenarios, when you're only expecting to do some quick touch stuff, can get a bit annoying when you have to start moving your hands around. Then you've got the apps where that sort of environment is worth doing because it brings benefits in terms of productivity, and that would be something like video editing, as I showed you there, and other stuff that is you have to teach yourself, but it does bring benefits, speed and productivity as well. So I hope that gives you a few ideas about why you might want touch on an Ultrabook. Obviously you don't have to have touch on an Ultrabook. Everything in Windows 8 and the applications, apart from maybe some games in Metro, will allow you to use it from the mouse, the keyboard, no problem. But there will be times when having touch will be nice for you, and you'll start to enjoy it. I encourage you to experiment and to think about bringing yourself, testing new environments, testing new touch user interfaces, new methods, new ways of working, and I promise you'll find at least some methods and scenarios that bring you advantages, speed advantages, productivity advantages, and even some fun as well. So that's it. Ultrabooknews.com is where we're testing out this Ultrabook. It is a developer preview Ultrabook. That means you can't buy this one, and I can't give you details of what's inside it, as it's really only out there for developers and demonstrations like I'm showing now. Ultrabooknews.com for more information on Ultrabooks in general, and we're tracking the touch apps, the touch Ultrabooks, and all the products in our database over there, so check it out. Thanks for watching.